Welcome to Courtney on Health, heard on malcolmpresents.com. And where do you also
And
have
it's
us on
on the
Spotify?
manyshadesofgreen.com. Yep.
And manyshadesofgreen.com and Spotify, I think.
I think it's moved. Yeah, we're gonna get that rolling off in this new year. Absolutely.
We're in everything. And I don't know on Spotify or Many Shades, but on Malcolm Presents, it's also, you can hear all the back shows.
Right. And it's on YouTube.
Back till Courtney was a teenager.
Right. That's when she became Wonder Woman. So.
Right. Anyway, guys,
here we go.
What are we talking about?
We're gonna get into that. I'll do my little intro here so we can have it for Spotify and everything. So hi Courtney and hi Malcolm. Welcome to Courtney on Health, Zoomcast series about how to get through these. And I emphasize lingering COVID times right now, with tips on nutrition and exercise given by Courtney Gravenese, registered dietitian with a Master of Science degree in nutrition and applied physiology. Courtney is an experienced nutritional and health consultant in the New York metro area and beyond into the universe, into the stars, and other planets, maybe whatever Superman's planet is.
Yeah, that's
Kryptonite,
Superman. Yeah,
Superman, whatever, and will help guide you on a path to wellness. I said Superman for a reason because it's on my mind. In the opening of the original TV show Superman, the narrator would say, "Faster than a speeding bullet, more powerful than a locomotive, able to leap tall buildings in a single bound. Look, up in the sky, it's a bird, it's a plane, it's Superman." Yes, it's Superman, strange visitor from another planet who came to Earth with powers and abilities far beyond those of mortal men, and who, disguised as Clark Kent, mild-mannered reporter for a great metropolitan newspaper, fights a never-ending battle for truth, justice, and the American way. But you got to note that recently that line has been changed to say truth, justice, and a better tomorrow. They changed it. It's pretty interesting story, but can't go into it now. So in trying to lead a normal life as Clark Kent, how did he exercise and stay fit as a mortal? Did he speed walk with Lois Lane or do jumping jacks with Jimmy Olsen? And let's not forget women's fitness and mention Wonder Woman, who had superhuman strength, speed, agility, ESP, that was important, and a lot more. So as we slip into the new year, what can we do to improve our health, fitness, and well-being? What can we do to speed things up? Maybe speeding up our workout routines and following what the Swedes call, and Courtney, help me pronounce this, fartleks?
Fartleks. I know.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, fartlek.
Okay, anyway, I will ask Courtney to explain that later. But now she will start us off with how we can customize our workout routines using different methods, including moving at a faster pace.
Well, guys, is talking about just a definition that I have. Fartleks was I used to do in racing. What you do is you run as fast as you can for as long as you can. You don't measure the distance. You just burst the speed until you're completely exhausted. And then you slow down and start walking or doing a slow trot until you get
that. Thanks, Malcolm, because that's what I want Courtney to explain. So she'll have to explain it yet again. It's okay. We're very participatory.
Right. Courtney doesn't have all the knowledge. I used to run.
Oh, you have? Yes, you actually ran marathons.
Yeah.
So there is that.
I used to fartlek.
You used to fartlek. Okay.
Don't tell my wife.
It's hard for me to have Superman and fartlek in the same paragraph. You know, it just So my question is, can we all be like Superman or Wonder Woman in some way this new year? So Courtney, let's find out. Can you tell us what we can do to boost our workout routines? And you'll talk about the fartlek later.
Well, yeah. Well, I have to say, Maxine, I think all of us in some way or another are supermen and superwomen. So even if it doesn't apply to exercise, I think we all have our gifts. So let me just say that.
I agree.
A beginning thought. So yeah, I thought it would be good to kick off the new year with, strategies and I broke this into 2 parts. If you've never exercised before or very infrequently, some tips to kind of get you going, what to try, and then the other part would be for those of us who already exercise but looking for just a little bored. What can I do? You're trying to affect more of an impact on your body, different change. So I thought I would approach it in 2 different ways. So let's start maybe with, for those of you who are really struggling, it's just not your thing. You really don't love exercising. You hear it's good for you, but it's just not your thing. So the good news is, again, we've talked about this, and Malcolm, thank you for bringing up that all of the past episodes are available, because if you go back to some of the previous episodes where I'm doing exercise-based segments, you can go back and you can take a look for a little bit of more specifics on some of the exercises. So the very first thing, and we've spoken about behavior change before, that you want to do is ask yourself, are you ready to do some kind of activity, exercise, or change your fitness level? If the answer is yes, that's when you start to set up some goals. Remember, we talked about goal setting, and you can pick up some of the tips that we're talking about today. If your answer is, nah, really not ready, not feeling it yet, still think about it, but it's really important that you are ready to embrace that change before you start setting those goals. And there's a lot of research behind being ready, the stages of change and when to start to embark on any kind of goals, steps. So are you ready? And if it's yes, then stay with us. If no, don't lose heart. You just got to keep asking yourself that question. Am I ready? And eventually it will kick in and you will be ready. So set yourself some goals and pick a start date. So maybe it's not this week. Maybe there's just too much going on. Maybe your kids are going back to school. You're just back to work, whatever. You're juggling a lot of different things. So maybe pick your fitness start date to be in 10 days or 2 weeks. It matters not what the date is, but it has to be important to you, and it has to go in your phone, paper calendar, whatever you use to stay organized. It doesn't matter, but stick to that date. That's important, because psychologically, we want to be ready for that date.
It should never be mañana.
Yeah, you know what? It's
Why
okay.
not?
Because
Tomorrow's
mañana never comes.
Why? Of course it comes. What are you talking about?
Of course it comes. So you do want to pick that date, but the important thing is again, I don't care whether it's, you're a techie or whether you're a pen and paper kind of person, put it on a sticky note on your refrigerator, put it in your calendar. You have to embrace it, put it in there like it's an important appointment with your doctor, your boss, whatever. So that's the first step after asking yourself, are you ready? The next one is I know we touched on this last week a little bit. You got to get the right gear. What part of the world are you living in right now? What's the temperature like? And I know, Malcolm, there are certain, you need a better sneaker for if you're training for, a race, if you're going to be running long distances, but I'm really speaking to somebody who's never been exercising or has exercised infrequently. The gear is basic and inexpensive, but just has to be the right stuff. It matters not if you have last year's model sneaker. It can be a cross trainer. It's okay. Just get yourself a decent pair of sneakers and weather appropriate gear. Here in the Northeast, it's finally kicked in. It's cold again. So
It's cold.
Oh yeah. And you want that type of material that's going to wick moisture away from you. So when you perspire, it pulls it away from your body and helps it evaporate. So that's important. A hat, cover your hands, gloves. If you need a turtle, which is just a funny name for it's a neck gaiter. It's something that keeps your chin and your nose and your mouth a little bit more protected. Get that gear. It's important, but it does not have to be expensive. That's the key take home message. Once you got that gear, go for a walk. Simple, outside, get some fresh air. And it's important. And was like, well, why can't I just do everything inside? And we are gonna talk about workouts in your own home. But the fresh air in conjunction with the endorphin rush of the simple act of exercising and walking is a 1-2 punch that your body and your mind will so greatly appreciate. So just go outside and start with a walk. Most everybody can do that. If you're unable to walk for a variety of different reasons, then we're going to talk about the at-home opportunities for you. But that, taking a first step, taking that walk is a great way to start. For those of you who can't walk, or it's not your thing, and maybe you're just not comfortable with it yet, so many opportunities to try a beginner base level virtual class in your home. I'm assuming if you're listening to this or watching this, that you've got some kind of connection, internet connectivity into your home. And if that's the case, search YouTube. The key is to find beginner, appropriate starting points for you to exercise. I can't tell you how many times I'll have somebody come to me and they're barely able to walk because they tried an advanced exercise class when they shouldn't have, and they're aching. That's not a positive experience. Nobody wants to feel that much in pain after a workout. So the key is to find an appropriate, basic, beginner level exercise program online. There are so many. Search YouTube, and you will find something for you that will catch your fancy. We're going to talk about the speed dating version of trying different exercises. It's going to work for people who have never exercised, and it also works for people who are trying to turn the volume up on their exercise as well. And what it means is look through all of the options that are available to you. Maybe there's yoga, maybe there's weights, maybe it's low impact aerobics in your home and it's only 10 minutes. Rifle through as many, so speed through, just take a look at them in the descriptions, see what is interesting to you. If you're not interested in it and you're not going to want to come back to it, there won't be any momentum and there won't be any traction, and you won't stick with your program and the goals you've set out to do. I assure you there will be something in there that will help catch you and keep your interest, in addition to getting a buddy. If some people, Max, I know you're out walking the dog all the time. Malcolm, it sounds like you are self-motivated. You run. I am the same way. I go out no matter what because I'm self-motivated, but that's not everybody. So for people who are not self-motivated and need a little bit of a nudge, the buddy system is amazing. We've spoken about that before. Find somebody who's reliable, who will go out for a walk with you. Or maybe you can share and say, listen, I'm going to be doing at 9 o'clock, I'm going to hop on and I found a YouTube exercise class. It's only 10 minutes. What do you think? Would you do it with me? And anything. That buddy system is a tried and true technique to help reinforce whatever behavior change you are trying to affect. So reliable buddy is going to be key.
That's good. Also, if you have a dog.
Dogs work. By the way, I have to mention, I know he's around here somewhere. I'm sure Simba's going to do a bomb, a photo bomb. So
that's okay. We like
apologies.
We like cats. So, but anyway, you also and look at it in notes. You said start slow, go low.
Yep.
What is that exactly? Is that what you just explained, or is there something more to that? Because you were, emphasizing doctors. If you're doing it the first time, make sure your doctor kind of knows, depending on if you have an underlying medical, issue. So.
Absolutely. So it goes without saying that if this is truly the first time you've embarked on exercise, or maybe you're recovering from surgery and you exercised before, but it's been a while since you've been exercising, it's super important that you get the all clear from your healthcare provider. So that is always. Chances are he or she is going to say absolutely, but with that mantra of, go slow, start low, just to give your body an opportunity to get used to this exercise. You're gonna feel a little bit of pain, maybe just that muscle, that lactic acid, and that's appropriate, but you shouldn't be struggling to get out of bed the next morning. So that's the start slow. So maybe your first time out the door is not the time to go for an hour-long walk, maybe not. Why don't you try with 15-minute increments, or maybe 20 minutes, and start in small parts. Remember that the recommendations for exercise can be broken into 15-minute pockets throughout the day. So I think for many people, that's encouraging to hear, that it doesn't have to be an hour long. It can be 15 minutes several times throughout the day. And that's a great way to go slowly and gradually work your way up. The low part is if you're using weights, you want to always start with the lowest weights. Remember, and look back on the old videos that of our sessions, you want controlled movements. If you see people flying, and I know a lot of people sort of step back from the gym, but even at home, if you're watching a video and your instructor doesn't have controlled movements with whatever weights they're using, this is probably somebody who doesn't have a great handle on the proper alignment necessary to make sure you're doing those right and safely. You want your body to be doing, the muscles to be doing the work, not momentum doing the work. So start low. You can always add up or double up the weights or double up your exercise bands, as we've shown in the past. So that's the goal, go slowly, go low combination.
So what are
Two
some
things I
simple-
wanted to add. One, make sure what you do is age relevant, because I can't, when I was in my 30s and my 40s, I could do certain things I cannot do now. I mean, even though I'm in fairly good condition, I cannot do the same things because my body won't respond. And now that I have arthritis in the shoulder, my muscles don't respond as quickly. So everything, number one, has to be age related. And number two, set realistic goals.
Sure. Yeah. No, that definitely goes without saying. And I would almost say, Malcolm, it's not necessarily age, because I've got some 70-year-old clients who could kick the what out of some 20-year-olds that I know. And so you're right, but it needs to be taken sort of in context. So your fitness level, perhaps in conjunction with any limitations you might have because of your age, I think would be a better way to approach it. And that go slow, go low really pulls in, like you just said, the appropriate goal setting. And goal setting, as we've discussed before, we talked about SMART goals last week a little bit. They need to be tiny little steps. You'll get there, tiny steps to get where you're going.
So do you have any simple exercises that you can do at home to show some folks that?
Yeah, sure. So we've done these before. We've done the, everybody knows the jumping jack. You can do these high or low. All you need is a little bit of space. The low impact version, of course, is very little impact. So if you've got issues with your knees, you have some arthritis, very low impact, you're going to pick up the pace. Eventually, you'll be able to do those very, very quickly. If you are able to handle the impact involved, the regular jumping jack is a great way to get that heart firing very, very quickly. You can also simply walk in place, high knees. If you guys remember, and we're going to talk about those of you who are trying to turn the volume up on your already existing exercise program, high intensity interval training is a great way. It's sort of along the line of that fartlek we were just talking about at the top of the session, going back and forth, high, low, high, low. So most of the exercises I'm going to show you right now, just very, very quickly, are just in your home and are very low impact, if any impact, whatsoever. You can do a push-up. We've done the push-up before. You can do it on your knees. You can do it straight leg. This is, of course, your plank, which is a great core strengthening exercise that we can start with. So a goal might be, guys, I'm going to do a plank for 1 minute. Can't do 1 minute? That's okay. Why don't you start with 20 seconds and work your way up? So your plank, your push-up, incredible upper body exercise combined with that plank is a great way to strengthen core and strengthen that upper body without any bit of equipment. You're just using your total body weight. A squat. Remember, we've spoken about these, tailbone back. You're gonna drop, look at your knee alignment. The knee is always over the heel. You don't want your knees out over your toes. So everybody, okay, try these. Wonderful for lower body, wonderful for glutes. You guys remember when we spoke about dead butt syndrome a few months back? This is one of those exercises that really fires up those gluteal muscles. They are huge, so they need to be worked constantly. So those are just a few of the things that you can do. Wall sits we've done before, and all you need really is any, unobstructed, sturdy wall, and then you're going to drop. I have this over here, but you want that nice 90-degree angle again, and you're going to sit back up against the wall till your body fails you. So simple little things that you can do. So if your best exercise is going to be maybe a 20-minute walk, then you come back home and try a couple of those at-home calisthenics we just spoke about. That's a great way to start. So again, those are the beginner levels. For those of you trying to turn the volume up, that fartlek, and it doesn't even have to be, if it's your first time doing them. When I was living in the city, just give yourself a visual. People would use telephone poles. Some parts of the country don't have telephone poles because everything is buried, so that doesn't work. But maybe there's a street. So every other street, you're going to walk. The next one, you're going to, just like Malcolm said, fire it up, go as fast as you can, bring it back down. But if you're new to fartleks and you're just trying to, maximize your workout and you only have 20 minutes, well, maybe instead of walking leisurely for that entire 20 minutes, every few minutes, you're going to really walk as quickly as you can. So even if you're not a runner or you can't run, walk as briskly as you can, okay? And then balance it with back to a regular walk. High intensity, bring it back down. High intensity, bring it back down. So great combination. If you are weightlifting, increase the weights that you have slowly, of course. You don't want to jump up too much. But again, if you have a fixed amount of time, you can really, maximize the effects of your workout by increasing more weight to whatever routine that you're doing. So diversify that workout as much as you can. Try different classes. If you have been taking the same either in-person class at a gym or YouTube class, try and go search something else. Your muscles do need to be challenged a little bit. So maybe try, a different type of yoga. Maybe you were doing hatha, maybe you want to do vinyasa, maybe you want to do kundalini now and try and shake it up that way. Maybe you were doing an aerobics class, but you haven't really been doing much weight training. Find a class that really incorporates more of that anaerobic activity, and that's a great way to diversify that workout, change things up, and you might yield better results cardiovascularly. And also if you're trying to look for, trying to look a little bit different, you might see those results a little bit quicker.
Courtney, swimming is a good exercise. I mean, if you're in, warmer climates, you could do that all year. If you're in the city and lucky enough to be able to go to an indoor pool or something. You said there was something, because we brought up Superman, called Swimming Superman. What is that?
Oh, the swimmer.
Swimming Superman,
So that's down, you're gonna be on your belly. Again, all you need is a floor in your body. I don't know if I'm gonna cut myself up. Nope, I'm gonna be in there. So here's your Superman, for those of you who've seen Superman. Right, both arms out in front, feet extended out behind you, lift that head up, but not painfully so. You don't wanna really pull your chin that far back. Both hands come up and off, they're alternating, and you are Superman swimming or sailing through the sky. I know this looks easy, but it is actually quite challenging.
It ain't easy, I know that.
To strengthen the core, but really, when you hear about so many people who start to exercise and they get some back pain, it is a wonderful, wonderful strengthening and stretching exercise to help with the lower back.
Wow.
So again, go slowly with those. They look a little bit easier than what they are, but that's the Superman, and it's a good one.
So,
Yeah, but
so with that,
Courtney,
I'd say,
I want to ask you about one thing, which I know is important, and I haven't figured it out yet. The word is form. If you don't do weights or stretching or whatever without the proper form, it's sort of, you can injure yourself more than provide benefits for yourself. How do you make sure that you have the proper form?
Well, hopefully, one of two things. Hopefully, if you are doing this at home and you have not had the benefit of being in a fitness center where they have trainers there who can check your form, in the absence of that, you want to take a look at and the credentials don't always mean that somebody's going to show the correct form, but there are at least some assurance that that person has been well trained in exercise or exercise physiology so that they understand that importance. So you would really want to look for the credentials of the instructor. So it's important for everybody. It's super important for somebody first starting out because they might not have any frame of reference at all. Like Malcolm, you might be able to go in and watch a video and see somebody flailing about with weights, and right away you would know that's not right. Look at that form, it's terrible. But somebody who's brand new might not. So you want to make sure that that's at least something that the instructor has to offer. And then maybe work out with somebody. I mean, the buddy system is a wonderful thing in that sometimes the buddy might be a little bit more advanced. So even if that buddy is not an exercise physiologist or a trainer, maybe they've been working out for a really long time appropriately and with proper form, and they can show you and say, you know what? You don't want to raise your arm all the way up like that. All you need to do is raise it here. So sometimes there's an additional benefit there with regard to form of having that buddy.
That's a good point. But also, so when you finish exercising, isn't it important to rest a bit, make sure you're drinking, make sure your diet is okay? Can you touch on that for a minute?
Sure, absolutely. So yeah, I mean, again, regardless of whether you're beginning or whether you're a seasoned exerciser, hydration is key. Water is obviously easiest, best, and least expensive. But there are other options. You can choose some of the electrolyte replacement if you're working out in excess of, let's say, an hour and a half, and you've been really exercising at a higher intensity. Proper nutrition is the key for so many different things. Exercise is just one of them. So you want to make sure that you're eating appropriately. Some people don't like to eat before they go out exercising first thing in the morning or going for a run. And this is okay. Maybe you just have a little light something, but more importantly might be how you refuel yourself after you get back from that bout of exercise. So again, it doesn't matter, you can be a vegetarian, you can be a vegan, you can be an omnivore, no matter what type of eating pattern you follow, the general rules of repleting both carbohydrate and protein are the same, irrespective of whether you're getting that from an animal or from a plant. So very important, Maxie. Yeah, you want to bring that up. And rest. Your body needs time in order to heal itself and for that whole muscle repair to occur. So, even though we're not, hurting yourself necessarily, if you're trying to get your muscles, increase muscle mass, for example, that takes some time. But it also takes rest periods in order for the bodily processes to occur, in order for that muscle synthesis, that increase in muscle size to occur. So whether that rest is 1 day a week, 2 days a week, or every other day is kind of at your discretion, but listen to your body. If you woke up and you exercised too much the day before and you're really aching, that would be a good day to maybe drink. I would always drink lots of fluids, get that lactic acid pushed out, maybe just go for a little bit of a walk, but maybe that would be your day of a rest.
Right.
Yeah,
I mean,
I
I
always
hear,
heard
wait,
that it
hold
was-
on. Hold on, Mel. I just had a quick
I'm holding.
question. No pain, no gain. Is that a thing? Do you really want pain?
No.
I never understood that phrase.
I think over the years they've changed it, no pain, exclamation point, no pain, exclamation point. So there's a difference between, being in pain and a little bit of ache, that lactic acid buildup, that would be normal and appropriate. Now, if you're working out to a point, eventually that system fails. If you're working out every single day, at 100% and not giving your body time to rest, eventually that pain is going to catch up with you. And it could be something minor, like maybe, tendonitis, or it could be something more significant, like a torn ACL, because you've just exercised to the point or trained to the point where you've injured yourself. So no, you gotta, listen to your body within reason. Obviously, if you're a professional athlete, these men and women are training through pain all the time. But we've heard that this is a problem, right? We see injuries all the time in the pros. So most of us are not pros. Most of us are trying to do this for, just keeping fit generally, or, trying to train for something on the smaller side. Pain is not.
I remember listening to this pro football player, and they asked him, when do you know it's time to retire? And he said, when I was younger, after the game, I'd wake up on Monday, I'd have a little pain. Then as I got older, I woke up on Tuesday, and I still had a little pain. And he goes there. Finally, he said, when I woke up on Sunday and I still had pain, I said, that's the time to quit.
Yeah, I would imagine that would be a good sign.
But I was also told that, or what I follow is, if you're exercising one muscle group, you alternate one muscle group one day, another muscle group another day. So you give your body, time to recover. Because I understand as you're exercising that muscle group, you're tearing your muscles down, and it takes a day for it to recuperate.
Yeah, there are lots of different ways, none of which are incorrect to train. Some people do your approach, Malcolm, which is pick certain body parts. So maybe they do opposing muscles. They might do chest and back one day, so opposing from back. And maybe the next day they're going to do, glutes, legs, and that's fine. And then the next arm. So you could rotate it that way. Some people like the total body approach, which is one exercise for each body part. And that's okay too. It depends on the routine. I would say that, check and see how you're feeling. Check and see if you want to push yourself a tiny little bit, but the rest is important. So even if you're doing the total body workout one day, you're going to want a day or two in there where you just chill, right? Rest.
Yeah. Anyway, our time is up, but I just want to check, Courtney. Do you do Zoom classes, or do you take private people now, or groups? During the pandemic.
I do private. In fact, I know a lot of people are feeling a little uncomfortable, sadly, going to gyms. I totally get it. So I have a feeling that there will be a bit of an uptick in more of the Zoom virtual classes, which, listen, I'm all for whatever keeps you going. So happy to set those up. If you want to reach out to me, I'm happy to include you in some of the classes.
Yeah. How do they contact you?
Site.
You can either go to the website, CourtneyGravenese.com. You can, private message me through my CLG Wellness on Instagram. I check that, religiously. So either of those is a great way to reach me. Or, Courtney on Health website on Facebook. There's lots of ways to reach me, and I'm pretty good about responding to anybody who reaches out.
That's awesome.
Okay, guys, I think we have to end all this. Maxine, do you have the final words?
I do. I'm repeating what she just said. So thanks for joining us for Courtney on Health. And again, to get more info, follow Courtney on her Facebook page, which is Courtney on Health, on Instagram at CLG Wellness. You can direct message her there. Visit her website, CourtneyGravenese.com. For more shows, go to MalcolmPresents.com and TheManyShadesOfGreen.com. Courtney on Health. Smart Sound Nutrition, strong, safe fitness, and we got to be safe in these crazy days. And we'll catch you next time.
Bye.
You guys stay well. Thank you.
Stay well.
Again, is it Happy New Year? The New Year.
Happy New Year.
The New Year is starting now.
Good health to you all.